Most hugelkultur beds fail for one simple reason: people build them exactly the way the internet tells them to. They stack a pile of logs, throw some soil on top, plant vegetables and expect magic. Then by mid-season the plants are stunted, the soil dries out faster than expected, and the mound settles so much it barely looks like a bed anymore. The problem isn't hugelkultur itself. The problem is how most people are building it. The biggest issue usually shows up as moisture imbalance. Either the mound dries out too quickly in summer, or it becomes a soggy sponge that suffocates roots. Early on, I started using a simple tool that helped me catch these issues before they became real problems. A 4-in-1 soil moisture meter, digital plant temperature, soil moisture pH meter, sunlight, intensity, backlight, LCD display. When you're working with a layered mound full of wood, moisture levels can vary dramatically between the top and the interior. A meter lets you check what's actually happening beneath the surface, so you're not just guessing. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. Once I started measuring what was happening inside hugelkultur beds, I realized something surprising. The common building advice is missing a few critical steps that make the entire system work. And if you skip those steps, the mound will struggle for years before it ever becomes productive. Most hugelkultur guides skip the step that stabilizes the entire bed. Traditional hugelkultur is based on a simple concept. Large wood buried under soil slowly decomposes, creating long-term fertility while acting like a sponge that holds water. That idea is sound, but the execution most gardeners follow is incomplete. They throw down logs, pile branches on top, cover everything with soil and start planting. What actually happens inside that mound is very different from what people expect. Fresh wood begins absorbing nitrogen from the surrounding soil as microbes start breaking it down. That process temporarily steals nutrients from plants growing above the mound. At the same time, large air pockets form between logs and branches. Those pockets collapse as the wood settles and decomposes. The result is unstable soil structure and inconsistent moisture. That's why many first-year hugelkultur beds struggle, but there's a simple way to prevent that. The foundation layer determines whether the mound succeeds or fails. The first thing I stopped doing was stacking logs directly on bare ground. Instead, I began preparing the foundation layer like a compost system. Before placing any wood, I add a thick base of nitrogen-rich material. Fresh grass clippings, green plant waste, or manure all work well. This layer feeds the microbes that will begin breaking down the wood. Then I add partially decomposed wood instead of fresh hardwood logs whenever possible. Rotting wood is already colonized by fungi and bacteria. Those organisms accelerate the decomposition process and stabilize the mound much faster. If you only have fresh wood available, soaking it overnight before building the mound makes a huge difference. Dry logs act like giant moisture sponges that pull water away from the surrounding soil. Hydrated wood behaves much more predictably. These details may seem small, but they change how the mound performs during its first growing season. The layering technique most gardeners overlook. The next improvement came from adjusting how the layers are built. Instead of stacking large logs and then filling gaps with soil, I now build the mound in alternating layers. A layer of wood, a layer of organic material like leaves or compost, then a layer of soil. This pattern repeats as the mound rises. These intermediate layers eliminate large air gaps and create consistent moisture distribution throughout the bed. They also feed microbial life between the wood pieces, which speeds up the biological processes that make hugelkultur work. When the mound settles later, it compresses evenly rather than collapsing unpredictably. That stability matters when you're planting vegetables that depend on steady root environments. Moisture management inside the mound is more important than most people realize. Many gardeners expect hugelkultur beds to become self-watering systems almost immediately. That's not how they behave in the beginning. During the first year, wood is still absorbing moisture and microbial populations are still developing. That means the mound may actually dry out faster than expected in hot weather. This is where checking soil conditions becomes extremely helpful. By measuring moisture levels at different depths, you can see whether water is reaching the root zone or simply running down the sides of the mound. Once the wood becomes saturated and decomposition accelerates, the mound begins acting like a reservoir. But that transition can take several months, depending on the materials used. Understanding this early phase prevents a lot of frustration. The soil covering the mound actually matters more than the wood underneath. Another common mistake folks make is using poor soil to cover the mound. People often just scrape topsoil from the surrounding area and throw it on top of the wood. But honestly, the top layer is where your plants actually grow. These days, I cover Hugelkultur mounds with a rich blend of compost, garden soil, and partially decomposed organic matter. A good ratio, in my experience, is about equal parts soil and compost, with some leaf mold mixed in. This creates a nutrient-rich root zone, while the deeper layers of wood slowly transform into long-term fertility. In raised garden beds, this approach really makes Hugelkultur perform much more like high-quality living soil rather than just a rough pile of buried logs. This is where Hugelkultur really begins to outperform traditional beds. By the second growing season, the mound changes dramatically. The wood becomes softer and starts holding significant moisture. Fungal networks expand through the decomposing layers, transporting nutrients and water throughout the bed. Earthworms move in and begin mixing organic matter through the soil. The mound stops behaving like a pile of materials and starts functioning like a living ecosystem. That's when Hugelkultur beds truly shine. Vegetables develop deeper root systems because the soil remains loose and biologically active. Watering becomes less frequent because the decomposing wood acts as a reservoir. And nutrient cycling improves as microbes break down organic matter continuously. Hugelkultur also works surprisingly well in smaller garden systems. Many people assume Hugelkultur only works for large garden mounds, but the principles translate surprisingly well into raised beds and container systems. In raised beds, partially buried wood layers can provide long-term moisture retention while reducing the amount of soil required to fill the bed. Even in large containers, adding small pieces of decomposed wood at the bottom creates similar effects. I've experimented with these approaches in hybrid hydroponic media mixes as well. Wood fragments and biochar combined with compost can support microbial populations that benefit plant roots. The key is understanding the biological processes happening inside the system. Once you understand those processes, the design becomes flexible. The biggest misunderstanding about Hugelkultur is that it's a shortcut. People expect instant results, but Hugelkultur is really a long-term soil-building strategy. The first year establishes the biological foundation. The second year improves structure and moisture retention. By the third year, the mound often becomes one of the most productive parts of the garden. Patience and proper construction are what make that progression possible. Skipping the preparation steps is what causes most failures. Good gardening always comes back to understanding the soil. Whether you're building Hugelkultur beds, raised beds, container gardens, or hydroponic systems, the same principle always applies. Healthy plants grow from healthy soil ecosystems. When you pay attention to soil structure, microbial life, moisture balance, and nutrient cycling, your garden becomes easier to manage and more productive year after year. Hugelkultur is simply one powerful way to build that system using natural materials. If you found this helpful and you enjoy practical, experience-driven gardening advice like this, subscribe to the channel and share this video with another gardener who's thinking about building a Hugelkultur mound, because the more we understand soil biology, the better our gardens perform.